many of you have actually ridden in a car that was driving itself? Shout. I can't see that. I can't see a thing down here, so yell out, make a bit of noise. Okay. How many of you want to drive in a self-driving vehicle? And there's a lot of excitement here, but also there are lots of questions around, is it safe? How is it going to change things? How is it going to impact my life? So this is where it's really important to have a conversation about self-driving vehicles. Both the geeky side of it, the exciting side of it, but also those questions that we're asking, well, how do we actually make it work? So this is where I'm extremely excited to have Waymo's Chief External Officer, Tekedra Mawakana here to talk about this. So Tekedra, please join me on the stage.
Waymo was founded in 2009 as the Google Self-Driving Car Project. And if you look at the history of automobiles, we've all seen them. They've gotten faster and they've gotten smarter, and someone out here even talked about their Tesla. But what we haven't been able to do is reduce the human error rate.
What do you think of self-driving cars?
For fully autonomous cars that are driving themselves, I'm really excited and I'm looking forward to those. I don't see myself getting involved in that until the point that it can pick me up and take me to work and pick me up and take me home.
I think self-driving is the future, and I think as they develop, they'll be safer than normal humans driving.
I think self-driving cars are great. I think it's a great way to look into the future. Put humans aside, let robots kind of just take control.
And you can see from that, actually there's a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of curiosity about these cars, and a lot of enthusiasm. And of course, one of the interesting things is just how these things work, because we seem to go from nothing to everything in just 10 to 15 years. So what are these technologies that are suddenly making it possible for a car to drive itself?
As it drives, Waymo uses LiDAR, which sends out millions of laser beams per second to build up a detailed picture of the world all 360 degrees around it. It also uses radar to detect how far away objects are and their speed. And high-resolution cameras detect visual information, like whether a traffic signal is red or green. It then combines all that data to understand the world around it. For example, in this fraction of a second, it knows exactly where it is on the road. It can also identify everything around it in full 360 degrees, and then predict what those things might do next.
And just to be clear, all this is in the car. You've got the computer brain there. It's not sending signals out to some supercomputer somewhere.
That's right. That's right. We're only focused on fully autonomous driving. And so by its very nature and definition, that means that the autonomous capabilities need to be on board.
Right.
To me, there's an opportunity for us to be a little more uncomfortable with our comfort with the risks on the road and the fatalities and injuries that come from them. Self-driving cars, if our car was available for sale with our suite of sensors on it, would be very expensive.
Right.
And so one of the reasons we're making it available as part of a ride-hailing platform where we own all the cars and everyone gets to use them is we want the safety distributed as broadly as possible, as soon as possible. And so we're not actually in the automotive industry. We are partnering with OEMs to get vehicle supply. Then we are actually creating this self-driving car. I'm gonna say that we are seeing fewer than 1,000 people lose their lives in preventable deaths on our roads. We are seeing tens of millions of people who are old enough to have a driver's license, but who cannot drive themselves, enjoying full independence. We are seeing turning 16 for every teenager, no matter whether they have epilepsy or autism or not, being a really exciting time, just like it is for other kids at their schools.
Other people might not see us as normal when we go out and we get coffee. You know, we get the looks and we get the stares and we get the questions. But to us, this is just our relationship, our normal life.
My parents didn't know that I was blind until I was 3 months old. I became a history major in college, fell back in love with kind of a subject that I had been so interested in really since I was a kid. The quiz is open no, so hope you took good notes. A really significant challenge of being blind is the issue of transportation because I can't drive. I need to rely on others for that basic requirement of life. I've climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, I've hiked across the Grand Canyon, I've swam from Alcatraz, I've thrown out the first pitch at a baseball game, but there are things that I just plainly can't do. I still can't drive myself to the grocery store.
If Max had the option of self-driving cars, he wouldn't have to rely on anybody.